Luck on that.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to our Olympic show. We do these shows every Friday at 5 o'clock. Normally, we talk about things that are happening in the news, but we're going to be talking about the Olympics because it is the first week has now completed of the Olympics. A lot has happened, and so it'll be exciting to talk about that with all of you. And of course, if you are
I'm just having a hell of a time. Sorry, Cody.
That's okay. If you're in one of the platforms here, just leave your comments or questions or thoughts in the comment section, and we will conversate with each other. So again, whatever platform you're on, if you just leave it in the comments, we can see it, and we will bring it up on the screen and talk about it. But Matt, oh my goodness, first week of Olympics is done. I've been watching it nonstop.
I have not been watching it nonstop because I don't have cable, so I've kind of had to like catch up here and there and read the articles. And you may notice so let's talk about a few elephants here. I'm wearing my glasses, which I usually don't wear. I just got new ones. Thanks for me, Parker. But I realized I'm so used to putting them in, and today I gave myself a break from my contacts and everything. So normally I just wear my contacts during the day, but I got home from the gym, I showered, and I sat down to do this, and literally a minute before the timer went off, I was like, I really can't see. What's going on? Like, my eyes don't hurt, so it's not that. So yeah, then I realized, oh my God, I'm not wearing my contacts and I can't see anything. So I did not have the lights or anything positioned for me to be wearing my glasses. So it's like distracting the shit out of me here. So I apologize. I might even get up and put my contacts back in at some point.
Well, that would be completely fine. I do love the glasses. They look very cute.
You like them? Thank you.
I do love them.
Let's play with the lights here a little bit. Oh my God, this is like painful.
It's that's the one thing I've learned with I had the background in TV, and then doing all my stuff now on YouTube stuff. But I've always worn glasses since I was small, so the thing is you got to deal with lighting, and there's like glares. You can get non-glare screens.
So I've actually had glasses since I was 7 or 8, and so I just didn't wear them because like throughout the teenage years I did wear them, but it was just miserable. And so this is a totally different style than I'm used to, completely. So it's really weird to kind of step into them, and I feel like it completely changes my face and how I look. And not that that's a bad thing, and it's fun to try a totally new look. It's just one of those I haven't worn glasses with the correct, because we learned last year, about 2 years ago, that my prescriptions have likely been semi-off most of my life because we just didn't know. Mm-hmm. And because I don't know, when you can't see, you don't know really what good vision is until you have it. And then I told the doctor, so she put in my vision, and she's like, oh, you can see this? I said, yeah, that's great. So he, did an update, and he goes, he's like, this is actually better than what you had. I'm like, oh, what I didn't realize was I wasn't seeing fine detail. So I didn't know what fine detail. I thought I was, but I didn't.
Now you're like, it's a whole new world.
It is a whole new world. And when you put your glasses on, it kind of brings everything, like, it's like dragging a wall from a far away up to your face instantly. Whereas do you ever wear contacts?
I've never worn contacts.
So contacts, I feel like my vision is a little better with my glasses, but my vision with my contacts is more natural, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it flows, like the world flows a little easier. Whereas with glasses, one of my complaints was always, yes, I can see, but, it's not perfect, obviously. I mean, looking straight ahead, it's beautiful. But your glasses, you're totally contingent on something catches you off guard, knocks your glasses off. You're totally blind for a couple seconds. Like, but,
yeah.
So
yeah, Chris says he's in love with the glasses as well. I know, right? Chris, they're so cute.
I got them in the mail, and I was like, "What do you think, Chris?"
Yeah, that's the one thing I've learned with like lights, because you'll always get that glare on your lights depending on how it's set. And then I didn't think about this until I had already bought the light, but I bought a ring light, and I was like, "Oh my God, yes, my videos are going to be great." No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Because if the ring light is in front of you, you just see circles.
Yeah, I'm actually going to get
up. But no one tells you that.
I'm going to go it takes me about 10 seconds to put my contacts in, so I'm going to go do that. I could probably put them in here just chatting with you, but that usually grosses people out.
Okay. Matt's going to step away for a second and put some contacts in real quick. So I've learned how to set my lights for my glasses, and it's always just like a fun to do. And even if you get that non-glare on your glasses, you still have some glare with lights because just that's how it works. But I love my glasses. Chris says, my Warby Parkers have all the coating so they don't reflect too much, but it's hard to position the light so you don't see the ring light. Yeah, so I quit using the ring light. I use it for like side lights or like an above light. But now I use my LED lights, and they have like diffusers on them and grids on them. And it's a lot better. You don't really see, you just see like a light, but not the actual light. You do see my light in front a little bit, but yeah, I do love them. That's one thing. I do Zenni Optical, and they're pretty cheap. Some of them you can get some for like $5 to $10 a pair of glasses. And the great thing about it is you can try different styles or different colors. And so that's one thing I've really started doing a little bit lately, is trying to get different styles that I'm not used to or I've always been wary about, or like really bright colors like yellow. I have a pair of yellow glasses coming, which I'm really excited about. So that's the one thing I love, with Zenni Optical. It's not a big use of money, $5-10 here to try something out. I did used to have a Warby Parker, like really bright neon orange glasses, and I still have those. Thankfully, my prescription has not changed much in the last like 10, 15, 20 years. It's pretty much stayed exactly the same. So I can just use all my glasses I've ever had. But yeah, it's exciting. And Matt is back.
Okay.
Matt, if anyone joined just now, Matt had to step away for a second. He put in some context. We did get to see a preview of his glasses, and they were very cute.
Yeah,
I do
like wearing them. I do like wearing them. They, and it was nice to not have to worry about my contacts. It just makes my face break out a little bit. But Johnny Apollo with the Bring It On reference.
Jonathan says, comes into the room performing a front handspring, step out, round off, back handspring, step out, round off, back handspring, full twisting layout. There, I've done sports. Oh, Jonathan. Yes.
Where's this girl from? Romania?
Johnny, we're going to give you the Comicast Gold Medal of the Day.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I just made it up. It's a thing. Yeah.
Well, we're millennials, so we have to have participation trophies.
I was arguing with someone on Facebook about COVID stuff, and well, let me just read it to you real quick. We're not going to talk much about this stuff, but real quick, I just must read this to you because it's so funny. I sent it to Matt last night or the day before, and I had said something about some facts, science facts, and the lady replied, sorry, bud, I'm pretty sure I didn't mention anything to you political. I did mention CNN to you, and you did that assuming thing. And sorry again, you don't look old enough to be an immunologist unless you're another Doogie Howser. Oh, wait, you're probably not old enough to know Doogie Howser. That's a compliment. Oh, my God.
Right? But, despite the fact that we were very much alive with Doogie Howser.
Right. I love that show. I was young, so I don't remember a lot of it, but I did remember when I was little, I loved it. She goes on to say, don't make it your ultimate goal every time the city posts something to troll down and correct everyone without your views. I have been going through and correcting everyone with scientific facts. She says, no one needs it, and there are enough of your kind around anyway. Holier than thou, extreme Hollywood type. I like that one too. With only one opinion. I can see how much you troll, as do most other people that don't agree with you. Truthfully, you have exactly no idea how I feel about any of it, and I'm not nearly dumb as you think I am. Mm-hmm. That's a millennial characteristic that is very unbecoming. I think she was wanting it to like be all negative. I took compliment to pretty much everything there, so I'm not sure what her problem was.
My favorite is the boomer generation being mad at kids these days. I'm like, bitch, you raised us. Like,
Yep. Chris says, I put my contacts in front of people at work and they get all freaked out. And I guess I'm just used to it since I've done it for so long.
Yeah. I don't even.
I can't. That's my thing.
Mirror.
I can't put them in my eye.
Is I hold my eye open like this and I look left and I just gently set it on my eye. And then once you don't have to touch your eye, you just gently like it'll adhere for you, and then all
Yeah.
you do is move your eye and literally look at your contact because it's fitted for your eye, and it will just whoop, fit on. It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt, doesn't feel like anything, and you're done.
You know,
Some
I have a
people like
hard.
to, well, some people like get really stressed and they try to stick their whole finger in their eye because they don't want to miss, they don't want to, they don't want it to fall off their finger. You don't need to do any of that. Just literally, and some people don't even actually, they just open their eye. My eyes don't open that much, so I have to
Yeah.
actually hold my eye open. But
I've always had a problem doing stuff like that, and even doing my makeup sometimes it's like very hard when I do like my Halloween makeup or special effects makeup. It's hard for me to do anything like that.
when I put
Um,
eye drops in, I don't put them. I put them here and lean, so it
yes,
runs down the corner of my eye.
yeah,
Just, I don't know. I'm such a, we're
it's a good
fucking
hack.
adults. Be an adult and do it. Like, like
Yeah,
there's certain things where it's like, okay, well, nobody's
yeah,
gonna do it for you, and unfortunately, yes, it's not fun, but let's just get it over with. But
I do
cosmetics
like.
are easy. Once
Yeah,
once you know how to do it, it's literally seconds.
I
Just
do like
always wash
people
your
doing
hands
things
first.
for me though. I don't want people to get the wrong impression. I do like people doing things for me.
Fucking millennial. So
um, so it's Olympics, everybody. So let's go ahead and look real quick. This is what is going on with the medals. The United States has 42, China 40. There's issues I have with this, but the Russia Olympic Committee at 34 medals. China winning with the gold medals right now. Um, I don't know if the Russians should be competing right now. It is the ROC, if you're wondering. It's the Russia Olympic Committee. It's not the country of Russia because Russia's currently banned until next year because of a state-sponsored doping program. There's been documentaries about it. They were basically doping everybody up, and they got caught. They denied it, and well, sports
so they were
federations.
able to form the Russia Olympic Committee and send a delegation that way.
Yeah, so the idea, is that Russian uh, sports athletes should not be punished for something that your state, your country was doing. And so this was a way in which you would allow athletes to participate. Um, I mean, I don't know. There's thoughts on it either way. Like, is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. But there we are. We're winning the total medal race. We've been doing really good, which I've been excited about. I thought this one was interesting when we're talking about it because you never really, I guess, think about it. You're like, oh, someone wins a gold medal or whatever, but countries pay for their athletes to have medals or if they win medals. Um, and so there's a payout list for those athletes. So, like, say in Singapore, you win a gold medal, you're going to get $737,000. Here in the United States, if you get a gold medal, you're going to only get $37,500. Now, I think what's a little bit different about this is that um, would be the United States Olympic Committee giving this money. This is not the United States of America giving this money. Many countries have state-sponsored sports programs that send the athletes. The United States is one of those that is not like that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I understand as the program they don't have that much money to ultimately give to all these athletes because we do get a lot of medals. But I feel like the United States maybe should look into giving our athletes some money. I do know that under Barack Obama that they had like a tax a bill go forward in which the Olympians wouldn't be taxed on their earnings from the Olympics. I believe if you had over $1 million in rewards, then you may have to pay a tax of sorts. But I don't know. I guess 37,000 is good money, but a lot of these Olympians don't have a lot of sponsor deals.
Well, they're
If
not.
you're just
So they're not allowed to. If they plan, like a lot of Olympians that want to go to college after, they forfeit their NCAA um, opportunity if they take a sponsorship, and that doesn't even mean like. So I think what some people might think is, oh, so for example, I think Jordan Weber, good example. So in 2012, she goes to the Olympics, and she decided to go pro and take sponsorships. So it could be quite lucrative because, for example, women's gymnastics, their careers are very short compared to, say, somebody who works 40 years and retires. Their careers are done sometimes by the age of 20 to 22. So when she forfeited her NCAA eligibility, that doesn't mean she has to go there and just pay for it herself. It means she cannot compete at the college level. She can continue to compete at the elite level, which is like, our national teams going to the Olympics, etc. Try to make trials to go to the Olympics and make another Olympic team. But once you say yes to a sponsor or an offer, your college eligibility is done. Now, a lot of Olympians also decide to not do that. They might realize or think, hey, I might not be as, I'm not a Simone Biles, I'm not an Allie Raceman, somebody who is pulling down, like just medaling left and right, winning bags and bags of medals. They're on the team. Yes, they are an elite athlete, but they might not be getting the same attention. So several of them do not do that. They say no to the sponsors. They go do the Olympics, win what they can, and go home. And that makes them eligible, one, to compete at the school, and two, to take the scholarships. And they can continue their careers at the college level for 4 or 5 more years.
Yeah.
So, there's been pushes to at least allow them to be compensated because so many young kids are having to make these decisions at 15 years old, at 16 years old. They might be the best in their sport, but, Cody, you were a producer at 20. You hit a really high level professionally at 20 and 21 years old. Can you imagine having to make major financial decisions that have permanent actions on your life at 20?
Yeah.
Even at 20, when you're an actual adult living on your own in this position, and you have the people around you, you just have to hope that they are healthy. Just because they're your parents doesn't mean they help you make healthy decisions. We have seen every Olympics, we have seen a new person come out with, oh wow, my parents literally allowed my coaches or told my coaches to treat me this way, and they said, do it, it's fine, it'll get them where they want to go. We all, Dominique Moceanu dominated the late 90s with the whole story of how her life was playing out, and it was really uncomfortable. Like, I had just gone through all these court battles, and I remember watching it with my grandfather as he was explaining it to me, and that was one of my first realizations that, oh wow, this happens to celebrities too, and it's like worse.
Yeah. And also, as far as compensation, you have to also think, there's certain sports that you're not ever going to get a sponsorship deal. Like take probably like speed climbing or something of the sort like that, or table tennis. The likelihood of you getting that is not as high as some of these others, like your main sports. Of course, the main sports you're going to see on prime time on NBC are the sports that get a lot of buzz around them. Jonathan says, out of curiosity, what does London, UK get? Kind of wondering about Tom Daley's gold win now. Okay, so the UK does not give prize money out. So I guess at least America gives some, or the U.S. Olympic Committee does give some. England does not give prize money. They do give a stipend, an annual stipend to athletes that are participating in sports for the Olympics. So he does get a stipend each year. So that's a good thing. I mean, you don't even have to win to get that. At least you're getting something to help with your training and everything surrounding training. So that actually might be a better deal than a prize money, because then all the athletes get something to help them with their careers, as opposed to a one-time thing if you get the 3 places in the medals. Someone who did get a medal, though, and I was so excited about this. It was not necessarily fully expected, but U.S. gymnast Suni Lee won the Olympic gymnastics all around.
Crap. That was
exciting.
Talk about
I was so happy for her.
I am too. That is a huge, huge deal. And obviously, so Cody, give me 1 second, because when I change screens, everything like shut down on me here. There's something I wanted to say before we get into.
Okay.
Because we didn't get a chance to talk much this week. We're really excited. So while I'm doing this, to let everybody know, Keith is happy and safe in our house and lives with us, and Kitty is doing really well here. He has a adorable tiger cat that's been hanging out with us. I just want to make sure it's not touched on before I say something, because I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, I know you put it in here about Simone Biles, so it's kind of, I don't want to say the elephant in the room, but it's the thing that kind of made the news. So I think we should let's talk about Simone first, and then that way we can talk about her teammates, because, you know, like, she has had quite a journey. And you know what's really uncomfortable is people taking swipes at her, and I'm like, she is literally one of the best she's the best gymnast in like all of history.
Yeah.
I mean, she made history before she even went to trials. You know, she was already history. And then watching people take swipes at her, I'm like, I was winded running up the stairs yesterday.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, if you're listening and you don't know exactly what happened, you had not been paying attention. This was for the team event, the finals in gymnastics, and she dropped out of the team competition. She performed a vault, and then there was some discussion afterwards, and she left the floor and then came back, ultimately just dropping out, and then the rest of her team joined in like they normally would. And so ultimately, she talked about how it was something within her mind. They call them the twists and stuff, and being disconnected from you. And this is kind of explaining kind of what happened. She talked about it after the performance, and then we'll talk more about the whole thing surrounding what happened.
Sorry. No, no injury, thankfully, and that's why I took a step back, because I didn't want to do something silly out there and get injured. So I thought it was best if these girls took over and did the rest of the job, which they absolutely did. They're Olympic silver medalists now, and they should be really proud of themselves for how well they did last minute having to go in. And it's been really stressful, this Olympic Games, I think, just as a whole, not having an audience. There are a lot of different variables going into it. It's been a long week. It's been a long Olympic process. It's been a long year. So just a lot of different variables, and I think we're just a little bit too stressed out, but we should be out here having fun, and sometimes that's not the case.
And so that is, what she said after the event, in which the team did go on to win the silver medal. But, it has been the talk of the Olympics, like you said.
That's why I just thought it'd be a good idea to talk about it first, because what her teammates did was absolutely amazing. Besides, they are all completely supporting each other. But what happened was, so going into the Olympics, she was easily set to win 5 gold medals. So that would be all 4 event finals, team, and individual, which, she cleaned house 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, I guess, at this point. So she was supposed to do a Yurchenko 2.5. And, like, the height she gets in general is just insane. So she ended up doing a different one because it's like a sense of spatial awareness, knowing where you are in the air. Kind of like if you're on the monkey bars, if you close your eyes and swing across the monkey bars, you kind of have to just pray you stuck your hand straight, grab the right bar, and keep swinging, right? So think of it like that, but while twisting and flipping in the air, and then trying to land on your feet, not break your neck. So what other elite gymnasts were saying, and I read several of their statements, was that her body basically just took over and landed her. So she ended up doing, completely unintentionally, a 1.5, a much simpler vault, which is why she got hammered on the score. But the fact that she landed and didn't injure herself is just, and landed on the mat. She like landed down and didn't hurt herself, is completely amazing in itself. But the whole idea is that she talked about it, that leading up to, in practice, that it was coming on and she was missing landings and things like that. And she's talked about this has happened before, and other gymnasts have stated this has happened to them, where it's called the twisties. And it sounds like the cutest little name, but really it's losing a sense of spatial awareness.
Yeah, you're just disoriented.
Right. And for a gymnast or a diver or somebody who's throwing themselves in, doing these athletic skills, it's one thing to lose track of. So when I play basketball, if you lose track of where the ball and your feet are, you'll hit the ball down on your foot and it will bounce back up and hit you in the jaw. If you mistime a throw, a one-arm throw, which might look super easy, but in reality, you're looking to hit for example, I missed by 2 inches, hit the bottom of the rim, and the ball came back at me and hit me in the side of my jaw. I mean, clocked myself. It happened in about 1.2 seconds. So imagine a gymnast, an elite gymnast, doing incredibly hard skills. And this isn't about feeling sad. It's just, it's kind of like vertigo hitting you out of nowhere. It just kind of happens. And by her realizing that, okay, this isn't safe, one, she could have cost her team, totally cost them their medals. And two, she could have killed herself. Gymnasts have died from these things. They have absolutely died. They have broken their necks. Sang Lim broke her neck in 1998 at the Goodwill Games.
I think when people
fault. So people don't understand that this isn't about feeling sad.
Yeah, well, I think when people think of mini sports, they don't think that you can get injured to the level you can.
Right.
Even like BMXing, there has been some big injuries just yesterday. And so the reason, ultimately she decided not to go forward was a big one. You don't want to, like, if you're not in the right headspace to perform these, basically stunts,
right.
You don't need to go forward because it is a very dangerous situation that you could put yourself in. I mean,
Right.
I think
it is not worth ruining the rest. These are life-altering consequences. So, like, if you're ever curious, just Google or YouTube athletic tragedies. Like, it'll bring up in any sport somebody who recognized that, oh, I shouldn't have done this someday. I think it was a USSR gymnast that she had broken her leg performing a skill, and the doctor told her, yo, you need more time off. But her coach was like, no, you're fine. And ultimately, she just didn't have the leg strength to power through a move. And she didn't land it, landed on her head, broke her neck, and she lived from like 1980 to 2006, barely able to move. And for what? For nothing. And the move is now banned, by the way.
I think well, and that real quick, that is one of the reasons Simone Biles do some very, very difficult things, and that they didn't want to score them to the level that they probably should have. And that is kind of some of the reason they didn't want to have other Olympians trying some of these very extremely difficult things that most people are not able to do. But I think overall, one of the big things coming out of this, she's been a leader for Team USA overall. Obviously we talk about how great she is in her sport, but one of the big things I think coming out of this, oh, Kitty. One of the big things I think coming out of this ultimately is that she is again standing up and providing change within the sports. She did it for team gymnastics. And I think she's doing it for the sports. You've had a lot of people come out ever since then. This is something that's known in the sports world, but a lot of people don't talk about it. And you had like Michael Phelps coming out, you had other gymnasts coming out, and they all talk about this pressure that they're under the extreme pressure that is put upon them many times by coaches that are supposed to be there taking care of them and helping them along, but they have this pressure put up on them to perform to a certain level and to perform to get a certain outcome, that it does cause things like this. I actually was just, before all this happened, was watching on Apple TV the show called Ted Lasso. Amazing show. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But it's about football in the UK, and there was this guy, and he just could not make goals anymore. He would just completely miss it. He just couldn't. And they brought in a sports therapist, and they talked him through, and ultimately then he was able to play again. But it is a legit thing that goes on in sports, and I think we talk about it in just everyday life, that we don't put a lot of attention on mental health and providing some ability for people to speak about it, talk about it, and not feel uncomfortable about it. But I think that's the way it is in sports. And I think she's kind of now opened the door to allow people to do that. I also saw someone talking about like the whole Carrie Strug incident that happened in '96 in Atlanta. In which,
I saw that reference too. Oh, well, she's so strong. She went up there. She ripped 2 ligaments. And then she didn't know she had torn 2 ligaments. Like, it felt like a sprained ankle. And yes, she went and did it, and that was great. But she made a choice to go do it. And that is not something to emulate.
Yeah, and so, but this guy, he was watching it with his daughter, and he watched it again. He was like, "Oh, she shouldn't have done that." And again, I think in her case, it was the pressure to perform that was put on her by coaches. And, it's not, we shouldn't look at that like, oh my God, yes, she did that. No, we should be mortified that she went and did that.
Yeah. What if she
we should not be putting the pressure on them
What if
to
she
do
had
that.
severely damaged her foot for the rest of her life? Most elite athletes suffer greatly in their 20s, in their later 20s, 30s. We're not saying at 65 their hip goes. I think Mary Lou Retton has had like 4 hip surgeries or something like that. She had like a total hip replacement. She's not that old. She was like 16 in 1984, so she'd be in her 40s or 50s now. I think it was Shawn Johnson saying that when she dropped out of I think it was 2012 or something like that, basically it came down to, do you want to do this or do you be able to walk when you're 30? And 30, that is not very old to be looking at knee and hip replacements and permanent back injury. So, I do remember the whole Carrie Strug thing. Of course, that makes the news, the Olympic moment. But she talks about it in all of them. And I've always kind of thought that, okay, you thought it wasn't as bad as it was. And I'm sure the adrenaline, I can't even imagine the adrenaline you're feeling. Because, I can't tell you how many times I played in middle school with sprained ankles and stuff. But when it came game time, you're just so excited and you're so into it that, and this is at a rec level, you're just an excited 12-year-old. So I can't imagine the Olympics with hundreds of thousands of screaming people, knowing the whole world's watching. So adrenaline can get you through some crazy stuff, but and you just see her just go down.
I think all of that is directly put upon the coaches. At the time, the Carolis were in charge. They did wonderful things for the Team USA and the way we do things now. I think we still need to adapt things, as we have seen coming out. There's some talk with the coordinator coach of Team USA currently, and he put a lot of pressure on Simone Biles. You had in also 96, Dominique Moceanu hit her head on the balance beam, and she was never checked out or anything. And so another instance in where we got to put attention on this and mental health. USA Gymnastics did release a statement saying that they wholeheartedly support Simone's decision and applaud her bravery in prioritizing her well-being, applauding her courageous, and showing why she is a role model for so many. Also, Simone Biles took to Twitter to open about her feelings after withdrawing from the competition, explaining she wants to make her body and mind a priority. And I think that's a great thing, which all leads to the thing that allowed Suni Lee to get that all-around gold medal, which was so exciting. Simone Biles obviously was going to be participating as well in that all-around period of time. But it was just like an amazing moment when I saw that, her taking that gold medal. 15-year winning streak in all competitions. A dynasty that did seem in jeopardy earlier this week, but dang, 17 years also to have that winning streak for the United States. She did say afterwards, they asked her, which I thought was so funny. I thought I had the clip, but I don't. What are you going to do after or what are you going to do? What are your plans this evening or something like? And she was like, I want some pizza. I'm going to have to get some pizza. I've been craving pizza. I loved it.
Oh yeah. Go for her. I'm so happy. And also, not only did Simone step off to the side, recognizing that, maybe she's not in the best place. And her teammates have been very open about like, oh my God. Because I guess, so when this was happening, they watched it happen live. They watched it unfold and like all of their hearts stopped. And then, she landed it and got up and they were like, oh, Simone Biles kind of carries the team. And, the Russia comments about how, if they didn't have Simone, we could wipe the floor with them. Well, while they did win in the team final, it was definitely not a clean sweep. Like they did win, and winning is winning.
Yeah.
But
they had talked about in practice that they had sensed something was
winning gold in the all around. Who saw that coming? Like that's
and I have to say, it is a historic performance. Again, she was the first Hmong American to compete, and the highlighting of the difficulty in what she actually did. It was one of the most difficult uneven bar routines that can be done, and she did that, accomplished it. And so she stood on her own merits. It wasn't necessarily just that Simone Biles wasn't there. she brought it and
Right.
deserved that gold medal. Like, wow, so happy for her. And I love that after since they've been on TikTok and, you know, interviews in the Today Show and different things like that. It's just so fun to see that. And Simone Biles, again, has been there supporting the team, and they were just having fun in the hallways at the Olympic Village, Athletes
Right.
Village, just having fun with her and the gold medal that she had won. It was just super exciting for that. But with Simone Biles, obviously the talk of the Olympics, obviously people on Twitter talking about her, Instagram. Most people have been positive about it overall, but there has been some negative talk about it. You know, some people saying, "Oh, well, she shouldn't be a quitter. This is America. We don't quit." Yada yada, whatever. We're not going to go into that necessarily,
Okay.
but Michael Che,
Checks national
who
test scores against every other country. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, Michael Che, who is on SNL, has been called out for showing Simone Biles jokes. He claims that he was hacked. Now,
Come on.
on Friday, Che jabbed at gymnast Simone Biles, who made headlines this week for bowing out of the Tokyo Olympics to prioritize her mental health. He said, "Man, I want to make fun of Simone Biles," the comedian wrote. I got like 3 minutes of Simone Biles jokes in my head. I'm going to the cellar tonight to say them into a microphone. As the dorky kid says, I'm choosing violence. But we're not going to talk about the post exactly. What they supposedly were on his Instagram.
Yeah, we're
They
not
were
going to
pretty
kind of air.
They basically referenced all of the things that happened with Team USA and Team Gymnastics, and they were really bad. But he is now facing backlash on social media. He still says that he was hacked, and his password was he said he changed his password, but then everything on his Instagram page has now been wiped. So yeah, I don't know if that's, you know, I think
Unfortunately, you kind of destroyed your credibility, and you know, the problem is it's an issue that is understood in the gymnastics world and the sports world, but not to somebody, the rest of us sitting out here just watching. Like, you know, I think everybody sees it as a spectator sport and doesn't understand, you know, literally how much danger, if your brain and mind disconnect, like, you ever had vertigo? Like, just vertigo alone can make walking down the stairs terrifying, you know, let alone something like that where you completely are not able to keep track of yourself. And she was saying when it happened before, it took a week or two to go away. So it's not usually something permanent. It just hits and passes, and, you know, there's been so much pressure, and, you know, a lot's happened, and the road there has not been smooth for any of them. But
yeah,
no matter what, they're still silver medalists, and it's really interesting hearing people criticize that. I'm like, y'all probably weren't even picked for the volleyball team in middle school, and you're complaining about, like, these young women who are in another country and won a silver medal in after just another once in a lifetime event that has never happened.
Yeah, I mean, overall, thankfully, it's been minor people, a minor amount of people being negative about that. But again,
you were right.
Yeah, minor people.
Good Freudian slip.
With Michael Che, though, like, I've never particularly cared for Michael Che. In the past, he's also made jokes that were viewed by many as transphobic. Jonathan says, I guess he was also hacked when he sat in front of a live camera and made anti-Semitic jokes on SNL. Che is an asshole through and through. Yep. So I guess it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's a lot of pressure, obviously, and if it is true that he did write these things, the jokes were pretty bad. I think they're worth probably being fired for. If you obviously want to see them, they're on Twitter and you can check them out. But yeah, it was crazy.
And I just saw Johnny Apollo's. Yeah, no thanks on that. I saw that death in Final Destination 5. No thanks. Oh my gosh, that was like the most. Like, I thought it was going to be one of those scenes where it's like, okay, it's just meant to scare the audience. And then at the very end of the scene, everything goes to hell. And I was like...
And then Keith has joined. Keith says, "Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. I was engaged in the sport of gay Olympics shopping." Oh, what did you get? Tell us what you got. Oh, my goodness. How exciting. I feel like we should have like some kind of thing. I feel like when we like hang out, me and Matt, I should buy you an outfit, or like
Oh,
you
that'd be
pick me
so
an
funny. Like
outfit
we
and
have
I'll
to pick
pick
out
you
each
an
other's
outfit.
like outfits and stuff. Well, so there has been some things. I know we talked about the Olympics. Usually we kind of chat more ahead of time, but it's kind of this time it's kind of falling at the end. Um, so I picked up Starbucks today, and they were out of venti cups, and I was like, "Oh, that's okay. You can like just toss it in a trash. I don't really care." She goes, "Oh no, we're out of like the large cups. So I could put it in a." She's like, "But I'll give you. I mean." She was like, "I'll give you an extra shot." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no. One, I won't sleep tonight, but two, it's really okay." And I felt bad because for how quickly she was like, "I'll give you an extra shot." I'm like, "I don't need anything. I'm really okay." Like how many
Oh my
times have
God.
you been yelled at? Like,
I
Jesus.
I go to a coffee shop out here, and like, if you use this card, which is like their loyalty card, like on Wednesdays you get like a free shot. I did it once,
My little
never
baby.
again. It is too much. I don't need that free shot. Johnny says, the retail relay. Nice. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, so this happened yesterday. Like, whoa, what's going on? Not surprising, I guess, but U.S. swimmer Ryan Murphy sparked a war of words over doping. After an Olympic final race, the storm broke out at the Tokyo Aquatic Center when Ryan Murphy, he won the silver medal in the 200-meter backstroke. He spoke out against sports doping problems, and he said he was swimming in a race that was probably not clean. Now, this would have been admirable. I can't speak. It's the coffee. An honest thing to do. But the problem was that he had just lost to a Russian representing the Russian Olympic Committee, Evgeny Rilov. And the comments came across as kind of accusational against him. An hour later, Rylov and Murphy were sitting alongside each other doing a press conference. So after you have a race or a competition, you have everybody do a press conference for the world press. It was a little bit frosty though, because Murphy was insisting that he wasn't accusing Rylov of anything, and that Rylov was then, of course, had to stay on record in front of a room full of journalists that he is not doping. And this is what swimmer Ryan Murphy had to say.
That's frustrating, is that you can't answer that question with 100% certainty. And I think over the years, that's kind of come out. And so, yeah, I can't answer that question. Like, I don't know if it was 100% clean, and that's because of things that have happened over the past.
Like, awkward.
But he didn't come out and say though. I don't know. Maybe I mean, I can be a very literal person, and he's like, I'm not accusing him, and he's like, well, it's not me. Okay, like, but everybody's going to draw on. This has been a very dramatic Olympics, so everything is a story, and
yeah. The Great Britain won third place, and before Rylov came out and before Murphy came out, the Great Britain athlete was also talking about doping and swimming, and then Rylov came out, and then it was a little awkward, and then because he didn't know that they were talking about doping, and then obviously Murphy made his statement. I don't think he never explicitly called out Rylov, but he never explicitly said it wasn't Rylov. And my impression from the press conference was that it was Rylov.
Well,
Essentially,
I mean, the whole thing of like the Russian Olympic Committee. I mean,
so it stems from the fact at one of the swimming world finals, I believe, someone, he says, in the know was saying that there was doping, and he went on to say he really can't worry himself about that. He has to train for the Olympics. It's a very tough situation. He can't worry himself with the political nature of that, because all these sports organizations are political in nature, and he can't worry himself with trying to make them do the right thing. It is what it is, and then he just has to bring his best and do his best. It's unfortunate he believes that there is doping in the situation. It does complicate the issue, like you are saying, that Russians were state-sponsored doping. This wasn't just each organization's doing doping or each individual athlete doing doping.
This was
the country of Russia saying, here, do this. And it's elaborate. There's a documentary about it. Like, it's an elaborate scheme. And then obviously there's testing done for it. And so obviously these athletes weren't testing positive, but because the elaborate nature of it. If you have a chance, go check out that documentary. I can't think of where it's on, but it is a good one. And like, yeah, that is where the distrust comes. It is where the distrust comes.
Johnny
And I will
Apollo
say,
says that was so Texan. Tokyo.
Tokyo. Tokyo. Tokyo. Tokyo is kind of cute. Tokyo. I'm going to Tokyo. I want to
Your
go to
Texan
Tokyo
does,
so bad.
Your Texan does come out. It's like really cute. We had
I want to go to Tokyo so bad. Like I've always wanted to go to Japan, but Tokyo specifically. I just love the culture and everything about it, and I think it'd be just like so fun. So hopefully, when COVID is over, ultimately, or at least lessened. I don't want to say over, but lessened a bit in the future. Maybe in the next 5-10 years, I would like to go visit because it would be so fun, I think.
Yeah.
But swimming. So I did this little thing talking about how things are timed. Now, Matt, you probably, see in, track and field, gymnastics, anything, the logo Omega. That's on pretty much everything. And you're like, what is that? And it's the timekeeper of the Olympics, their official timekeeper. And there's like a lot of technology behind this because, it's timed down to the second or millisecond. So I put a little together something about what it is and how they time things at the Olympics. At the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, the countless hours of hard work from athletes around the world comes down to milli or even microseconds, and tasked with keeping that time is Omega. Now, if you have watched any Olympics, you probably have seen the logo and timekeeping equipment from Omega. They are not a newcomer to the Olympics and have pretty much been a fixture at every Olympics since 1932. At that time, the watchmaker, armed with its high-precision stopwatches, kept time to the nearest tenth of a second. The use of photoelectric cells at the Winter Games in St. Moritz and the Games in London, both in 1948, is considered to be the birthplace of modern timing. All that data has to be processed somewhere and very quickly. That's where the Omega timekeeping room comes into play.
Here we are in Omega's timekeeping room at the swimming complex in Tokyo. This is where all the information from the field of play are coming together, where all the results are judged, where the information are formatted and distributed worldwide to audiences.
These days, high-tech timekeeping has come to the games, and even in the Olympics, new technology such as the Omega Quantum Timer is being deployed to better calculate the time with precision accuracy.
This is the Omega's Quantum Timer, the heart of our system. It's capable to measure up to the 1/1,000,000th of a second. However, in swimming, calibrated to the 100th of a second according to the rules of the International Swimming Federation. The device has a main system and a backup system included in once and allows the timekeeper to switch from one to the other system in case of need. Over here, we're seeing the images of the high-speed video camera. Clearly here on lane 6, you would see a wrong takeover. The athletes on the block leaving too early, and the team in that case would be disqualified. On the left side of the screen, you see the time running. So we would also use that system as a backup system just in case.
One place you may have seen Omega used prominently is during the swimming events where touchpads in the wall, starting blocks, and high-speed cameras are used.
This is the device that is used by the starters to launch the races. It's a two-in-one device. One button is the speaker button. It is connected to the loudspeakers in the starting blocks of each athlete, so the athletes would hear the start command at the same time. The other button is being used to start a race. So as soon as the starter presses that button, the clock starts to run. And it would go something like this. Set.
Now you may think of Omega timekeeping products only in track and swimming, but even in sports like gymnastics, Omega technology is used. For example, gymnastics uses AI pose detection, which is used to review how accurately an athlete hits the middle of a mat or their overall technique. Every 100th of a second is a make or break in the world of competitive sports. It's what determines winners and world records. So that's how they time the Olympics. I actually showed Justin this earlier, and he was like, Are you working for a news organization again? I was like, I know it just comes out. My news reporting comes out. It cannot be stopped. I didn't know though, before I looked and was researching this, that it's used in gymnastics to like detect if someone is, how perfect they are, where they land exactly on the mat, if they're straight or not. So I guess that's a good thing. We're not leaving it up to judges fully now, because judges can be biased sometimes. It used to be really bad about judging in gymnastics or ice skating. It's another one where you just got to hope that judges are truthful. Chris says, can I please get an Omega watch? I have a tag watch, but I haven't worn it in years thanks to my cheap Apple Watch. LOL. Johnny, I'm sorry, I got distracted by the gymnast in that angle. Can you repeat all of that? It's the only video I could find of the gymnast. Like,
that's the only video in the entire world that you could fit into the video. Interesting.
It's the only video I could legally use in a video. I could have grabbed any Olympic video.
Aren't you a former gymnast?
I am, but like, I guess I could have like used my.
We could do like a really fun video where it shows it being like really dramatic, but we'll just like Photoshop your face on it. I personally like your videos. I know you go very news anchor, but to me it sounds very, maybe because it's straight people that listen to the news, that were watching back then. But I hear very comforting 900 number. Not like I would call and you would say sexual things to me, but like maybe you would listen to my day and instruct me how to get that damn spot out of my shirt. Have you got any soda? Try soaking it gently for 10 minutes. Take the two ends with your index fingers and rub them together.
Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should start doing that. Get some extra cash.
For $9.99 a minute. I can tell you all about it.
Yeah, for sure. $9.99.
Hear about Miss Cleo.
Chris says that was a great video.
Those commercials. Those were amazing.
Oh, I know, right? Thank you, Chris.
Cody does do amazing video work. I'm very lucky to be partners with Cody in this project. Like, I am super fortunate. If it was me editing, I would probably make like the earliest episodes of Scooby-Doo look really good. Like two stick figures, like with me humming "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" in the background or something.
You could do it. I believe in you.
You believe in me?
I believe in you.
Thanks to the power of YouTube and Google and sometimes knowing other people for a price, you could, maybe I could fake it till I make it.
So one thing that is happening at the Olympics because of COVID is the Olympians the medal's not placed on the Olympians. It's set out with a tray, and the Olympians have to get it off the tray. They also have to get their little bouquet of flowers, and they have to do it all themselves. But some fun thing has come out of this at the Olympics this year because of that situation.
Some of the athletes are giving each other a hand, taking turns helping each other don their medals. And it's unexpectedly created some real touching moments between teammates as their excitement for each other just shines through. The medal ceremony with its three-tiered podium has been an Olympic tradition since the 60s back in Rome. And now we got a beautiful new tradition. So how sweet is that? Yeah, very sweet.
I actually kind of like that more than some random that's never interacted with them.
I do too. I love it. Because many of these Olympians know each other within their sport because they compete each year at nationals, internationals, and so on. So I think it's something that's really nice that it's their work friend, and it's like, yay, you got it, because they're always usually excited about another competitor getting it. Obviously, you would want the gold. That's the ultimate, but you're happy for your friends. I love it. I think that's so great. And obviously, there's also the tradition, at the end, everyone gets on the top podium and everyone takes a picture on the same level. And it's just like a lot of fun. Although Tokyo Olympic Committee is like, do not do that. You're not allowed to do that. Everyone stay on their podium, obviously, for COVID protocols. And they now are allowing them to take off their mask for 60 seconds to take photos, because no one wants a mask in their Olympic gold medal photo or medal photos. That all started because swimmers were just taking off their mask for the medal ceremony. And so I think that's a good thing. Whatever. I wouldn't want a picture with a mask. I understand the importance, but take your picture, put it back on. But I hope they keep that. I think we should. The one thing with COVID, there's a lot of good things that have come out from it, like work from home stuff and different things that have changed. I think this is another change that has occurred, and it's something we had to force to do. But it's like, oh, this is a really good thing. Let's continue going forward with this, because we don't need, some random person, like you said, handing them thing. Chris says no one wants COVID either, but yeah. So real quick, there's the swimmer we talked about, Matt, who is actually, I didn't know it. He's literally from my area, the one that didn't have the COVID test or the vaccine, didn't have the COVID vaccine. Well, he swam yesterday, and he was leading. And then in the last lap, he floundered and did not get a medal. And then afterwards, he went into the area where there's press and was not wearing a mask. And the press kept asking, why are you not wearing a mask? Everyone who's been in here has worn a mask. And he was like, well, after I get through swimming, it's hard for me to breathe. I'm just catching my breath. And it's not easy for me to breathe with a mask on. And my health is more important. Girl, your health is more important? No. What about the health of all these other people? You're just a ridiculous jerk. And I'm glad he didn't win the medal. He didn't deserve that medal. And so I'm just really sad that he's from this area. I don't accept him. But luckily everybody else has been wearing masks. And so they really pointed out, I've seen a lot of articles pointing out that every other swimmer from every other country who've come in there has worn the mask except for him.
You mean it's just American athletes not respecting another country? I can't believe it.
It's like, what? It's just like, I can't. Okay.
I'm just surprised. I
know you're shocked. Oh, okay. I know we have a religion episode coming out next week. But he is religious.
Love that one.
He is religious. I did find that out from a local news report. They did a story about him.
What a fucking shock.
But so y'all last week, no, it was Sunday. We didn't have it. I didn't do this last week. On Sunday, if you were here, you got to see a video of a gymnast on TikTok talking about fake news about his sex bed. So there's a lot of there's a lot of Olympians that are on TikTok. So I found some fun things, and so we'll just play them for everybody here. So this is Cody Melfi. He's a rugby player, and he's giving a tour at the Athlete Village, which is really kind of exciting.
Things that just make sense in the Olympic Village. Separate housing for all the country's athletes.
I think that's
Bedrooms
so
we
fun.
Are staying in. 24/7 dining hall for 10,000 athletes.
Also, can you imagine having to cook all that food?
Laundry service. Free Coca-Cola machine. The buses to get to your games. Security. Autonomous cars to get around the village. The Boulevard of Flags. Update board for facilities. Team rooms. The view we have.
I've always wanted to go to the Olympics. I feel like I could never be an athlete, obviously, but I wish I could have been an athlete. Now, Matt, do you swim?
I did. I used to be a swimmer. I was
So,
a swimmer and a basketball player.
Look at you.
I know.
I wish I could swim, but
these are like middle school days. This is like decades ago at this point. So, but yes, I can swim.
I can't swim. We know.
There's actually at the summer meet, I won second place in freestyle, and I placed fourth in backstroke and one of the others. I got lost in my mind, like doing the backstroke. The backstroke to me is the most frustrating. And then I think it was the breaststroke. I was right at the very end. I was actually not doing too bad, But when I came back up, I kind of got a mouthful of water and choked, and then I couldn't pull myself out because it was in a pool I never trained in. So the meat was somewhere else, and they had the really deep edges. So I had to you had like almost do a muscle up to get out of it. Well, I was 11. I did post one picture from that meet one time. I actually have a picture of it, and I'll find it for you because this is appropriate. What was inappropriate was when I posted it, I did not think I'd have to place this warning, and it involved a lot of me blocking a lot of people after. Then when I posted this picture, I'm 11 years old in this picture. So the inappropriate comments that people wrote on it, and I'm like, I'm 11, and I'm pretty sure this is uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable. I think I took the picture down because it was uncomfortable enough.
Yeah. Johnny says
swimmer's picture of 11-year-old me, if I can find it here.
Johnny says, I mean, you do have a swimmer's build. Maybe you could do something with that, Cody. # Cocky Boys Olympic team.
Will we be a Cocky Boys relay team? What do you think?
Someone will have to teach me to swim. Someone has to teach me to swim.
That's right. Cody can't swim.
Also, I'm wearing my in honor of Olympics.
Cody, Chris is.
What did Chris say? Chris said my parents wanted me to be in a swim team when I was in high school, but unfortunately, I can't wear a Speedo around other guys my age in Speedos.
That's not the only reason.
Oh. I have # before I was out.
I actually just got I got 2 Speedos recently. I know I've never actually worn one.
Okay, everybody, I've not seen any of this though.
You've not seen them? I bought them. I got 3 new swimsuits.
Oh,
2 of them are Speedos.
No, you did send them. You did send them to me. I remember. It's been a little while. Yeah, that could be it could be a little dangerous, right? Same thing with wrestling as well. Wrestling can be a little dangerous too. I actually saw a clip of wrestlers and the guy's face like rubbed against the other guy's crotch, but was going across it, grazing across it, and then you just saw
Instant
things
boner.
flop. Just things flopped after the face moved past them. Yeah, I mean, I don't wear Speedos, but I wear like cute little swim shorts.
I
talk about swimming because this video, Matt, can you do this basically? This is Katie Ledecky. Obviously, she's an amazing swimmer. Okay, I'm not saying you can be as fast as her, but I'm not saying you can be as fast as her, but this is what she did on TikTok.
All right, style milk, start your day, body fuel, time to play, drinking it after class milk, 3, 2, 1, blast milk.
No, I've seen it. I cannot.
Milk, tough milk, howdy do?
Like,
milk,
what?
Milk, stop milk, question.
What?
Got milk?
One thing I do miss about swimming was the breath control of being able to like hold my breath across, because I used to do whole laps with holding my breath, and it was like a fun joke. Like when we would be done with practice, see how far back and forth you can swim while holding your breath. And now I can probably get a quarter. I'm still an okay swimmer. Just, I'm a lot heavier than I was at 11 and 12 when I was actually like swimming with teammates.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Jonathan says, "Oh, we've seen Cody, wink face, talking about my short swim shorts. Maybe I should get a Speedo. What do y'all think?"
You should get a Speedo.
So we talk about COVID at the Olympics, and obviously there's a lot of testing going on with athletes. This is Kendall Chase, and she is a rower for the United States, and she put together this little TikTok of the USA row team and what has to happen because of COVID protocols.
Geronimo, Jajargo, Garbago, Toronto, I'll make the dough, my booty ho.
It's just something a part of the Olympic spirit, everybody. I love it. The reality of the situation that you're in, but you can still have fun about it and have fun with all of your teammates is just like a really fun thing, I think. I love that video because of the reality of the situation. But yeah. So now we're going to go do a diver. His name is Sam Fricker. And Well, there's not much to this video. It's self-explanatory. I think y'all are going to enjoy it. It is what it is. Here we go.
No. Nope.
The muscles, everybody. But also the heights. Like, whoa.
Like the strength and body control it takes to do that. I mean, have you ever walked on your hands? Can you still do handstands, Cody?
I can still do a handstand. I can't walk on my hands now.
You can't walk in your hands anymore? Yeah, I used to be able to do like, like kind of push off my hands a little bit because, I didn't weigh anything. Now I'm like, false,
Sam Fricker again. He's so cute. This is him talking about the Japanese food there at the Olympic Village and what they get to eat for lunch, breakfast, and dinner.
Alright guys, so here at the Olympics you have the main dining hall, then you have casual dining, which is like really great Japanese food. Now I definitely gave all of it a try and it's actually so nice. I love the Japanese food and the people are always so kind. I absolutely love this place.
Again, also y'all, the accent.
Chris, did you used to dive? Were you a diver? I don't think I knew that.
Chris says, yes, and every bit of that dive. I wish I could still do that. Oh my God. Yeah, Chris, were you a diver? What's going on?
Like, I feel like I've missed something here.
Jonathan says, set some personal time with Tom Daly's Instagram feed later. Okay, let us know how that goes, Johnny.
Cody, I found the picture.
Okay, send it on over and I'll see if I can put it up. If you want it up.
Yeah, it's
fine. So again, I came across Sam Fricker's Twitter, and so we have one more from him. And you never think about what do they do with laundry? Well, he tells us.
Alright guys, so everyone's been asking me how we do our laundry here at the Olympics. Now we get these little bags when we get here that we put our laundry into. We just go downstairs with our good old accreditation and they just do it for us and then we come pick it up in a couple of hours or so.
Well, there's our answer.
I guess I've never really... Yeah, I guess I've never really thought about, what happens with needing to do your laundry. But of course, you're going to laundry. And, obviously you're an athlete, so you're going to get sweaty. So someone has to take care of it. And thankfully, there is someone there to do that. And so everybody, we were talking about swimming earlier, and Matt's a swimmer. And he did say he used to be a swimmer. And so I'm trying to get the photo up real quick of him. And this was Matt was a swimmer.
It is going. I am 11 years old in that picture.
Look at little Matt. I mean,
very, very little Matt.
You were a cute little kid.
My grandmother took this picture from very, very far away. I didn't know she took it. I literally just climbed out of the water and was walking away. I am just like Matt, I'm in my own zone here.
You could be a model, like honestly. Doesn't everybody agree? Doesn't Matt look like he could have been a child model?
Well, let's talk about how puberty hit me really, really, really hard. And then things got a little better. And things got better. But puberty was really mean. And so were 7th graders.
Yeah, imagine, right? So, Chris.
Right, Johnny. So very obviously 11. That was the concerning part. That was actually a picture I posted on Twitter. And yeah, so there's actually the picture I posted was me at 11. So I'm not even in a Speedo. I wore not board shorts, but like mid thigh. And I'm probably 4'8" in that picture, maybe 5 feet tall. So the comments that were under it were so uncomfortable. And that's something I did want to bring out since we were talking about the Olympics, that I've seen a lot of people writing really gross things. One, these are other human beings. They're not video game characters. Stop that. And two, a lot of them are underage, which makes it worse. Please stop that. That's disgusting. So
Johnny says, "Oh, you were adorable." Same face. And then Chris, talking about his swimming career, says that he did do it during his swimming days. He did some diving. He misses it, and also says that he was more of a power swimmer butterfly. I killed it.
So when Chris and I were both 19, Chris and I are now the same height, but we were built exactly the same. Like, you know, we're not counting COVID, and we're not counting our 30s. Like, that doesn't count. I'm deleting those years, but Chris and I's body types are like exactly the same, and we used to hang out with each other. I think we could have easily gone and bought like extra small everything, and it would still have hung off of us. In fact, I know it
Extra
did. Like,
small? Dang.
Oh yeah, we wore extra small everything. I know Chris did because I did, and we probably weighed within a pound of each other.
So before you were Casper, you were a stick figure.
Yes. Well, and so I lived in Florida for years. So now, by Florida standards, I was not very tan, but compared to now, I was sun-kissed. But I did wear sunscreen as much as I could as a kid, and then I kind of got lazy in my adult years, and now I'm better about it. The last couple of years, I've been really good about it since I moved to Texas. But yeah,
it's important.
But
yeah. When you are diving, Chris, he knows this, and if you ever slow down video or you see the still photos of people that are diving, the face, what happens? Oops, sorry. This is Tyler Downs. He is a diver, and well, it's self-explanatory.
Oh, I totally fit in a 00, Chris. Yes, I'm here for you.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay.
Like,
Chris, personally, I think we look better now. Chris said I would wear 00 women's jeans. That's how skinny I was. Literally the exact same size. We had to do a costume thing for a church skit, and nothing would fit me. So that's what I ended up wearing, and that's what I learned I wear 00. I also, I remember telling my mom about it, she goes, "Oh, I also wear a 00," because my mom is really tiny. And Chris and I were just like, whoop. Personally, Chris, I think we look better now, as like normal adults. Like, I think we look so much better now.
One thing when you're an Olympian, obviously, you have great muscle tone. Tyler Downs also showing off his outfit. Okay, he's having a lot of fun at the Olympic Village, I'm just going to say. There's a lot of fun happening over there. Let's see what I got. Okay, so this is, Johnny, you were talking about Tom Daley. So I have two more. We're going to end on Tom Daley because why not? Because we didn't mention this earlier, but Tom Daley did win a gold medal. It's his first time getting a gold medal, which is really exciting. He almost got a gold medal in Rio, but missed out, got silver. He talked about how it was disappointing at the time, but it was all meant to happen because now he has a kid and his child got to watch him win a gold medal, which is amazing. And so his husband, his mom, and his son all were there. Not actually there. They were obviously overseas in Canada, I believe is where they're at right now. And they were watching him win the gold. And this was what he posted about his time of winning the gold medal.
3.7 degree of difficulty, the world's hardest dive for the world's most coveted prize.
Wow.
Oh, yes, brilliant! Yes, that's it! That is it! That is untouchable! That is it! That is Olympic gold! Oh my goodness me! 101.01!
We need 102.76 to snatch the title.
These are the Chinese.
So good, though.
That is a great play for the gold.
And
See the expression.
Who wins?
Oh, and it's just not quite enough for the Chinese. Great Britain have a gold medal in the diving pool.
Okay, but that Chinese dive was also like the Chinese team was incredible. That was incredible. I mean,
yeah. It came down to that last dive for the Chinese. It wasn't a
I'm
guarantee,
assuming
but
they
then
got silver.
obviously they did get silver. They did get
Okay.
silver. But like I was so excited when he won. I love Tom Daly. I've always loved Tom Daly. And they showed reaction from his husband Dustin, and he was so excited. It was like gay scream. And it was his mom and his husband that was on the feed because they have a lot of live feeds from different homes and different areas. And it was like gay scream. And his mom was just like excited, but like his husband lost it. Like
Well,
it was like a little
I
girl.
can't imagine, so his mom's lived that life. She
Yeah.
raised him. His husband now has had some of the adult years of living with somebody under a grueling training schedule. And that's so awesome that he has that support, though. That's wonderful. I just
Johnny says, I appreciate you ending with Tom because I know I'd like to as well. Ba-dum-bum. I do have one more, and I think everyone's going to love this one. Tom Daly, everybody. There's nothing more to say but Tom Daly. Here we go. His exercise routine.
I used to do Tom Daly's workouts. I'll whip my ass back and just so he used to do an exercise thing where every week he would release something like a short video. So a lot of times I would use that as my warm up and my cool down. So because David and I worked out at Gold's, we used to walk there. Mm-hmm. So we would do the warm up in our home. So we were all like warmed up, and then the 4 or 5 minute walk to the gym, work out for 45 minutes to an hour, and then come home and sometimes do the cool down or not, but you're supposed to. But still, like, geez. Okay, and that what he was doing, the bridges can wear you out. That's when you you put your shoulders on the ground and your feet up, so you're kind of like at this, weird angle. And then you basically hip thrust to straighten your body. You don't need weights even. You can do that without weight, and doing those in sets of 20 will wear you out.
Keith says, wow, just wow. And Chris says, what the hell kind of workout are you doing, Matt?
Scroll back, Cody.
Okay.
Can you scroll it? So this was not the workout he released. The ones that were his warm-ups, he intended it for it to be like a quick warm-up. So it would be like bridges, like a modified push-up, and something simple that you could do in about 5 minutes. And you just kind of pace yourself through it.
Chris, for that to be your starter and ending.
Well,
I
mean,
Matt
it wasn't
secretly
like...
is going to be. Matt secretly is going to be at the Paris Olympics.
For what? Eating the most chocolate chip cookies?
Oh my God, what if that was a sport? I will have it coming up for us next week. We'll have another Olympic special next week. But there is a sport that I'm obsessed with now. Dressage. You don't know what it is. Check it out. Basically, it's horse dancing, and I'm mesmerized by this. And Salem is as well. I put it on, and Salem literally sat there for 15 minutes, actually literally watching. Like, he would turn his head, and he'd be watching. Ella did not care for it. Ella prefers something else, a Disney thing. But Salem was obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with it. Some of the people use like modern music, like Adele or different things like that. And it's just so fun to see a horse trotting to the beat of Adele songs. Amazing. Like, what is this? Someone did like flash dance, and
all I can imagine is like a horse spinning on its back, like doing. Which, by the way,
it's
the stunt double was
amazing.
actually a male in that movie. By the way, just FYI.
Oh yeah. Chris says, sorry, Cody, but no.
And I like
the dressage.
And the whole thing about like doing the workout, that Tom Daly workout, like the TikTok, that is not the one he released. Like, it did not involve like actual heavy weightlifting. It was like literally stuff you did with your own body. Like, yeah,
he was doing stuff that people could do at home, like a good workout.
They were
thing.
Intentionally designed for like everyday people to do at home to, squeeze in or help you warm up. I just use it as a warm up to help me. Like, I made myself do it. And could
It was not his Olympic workout. This is his Olympic workout. Again, my God.
Lunges are a beast.
The muscle.
This is like training CrossFit. CrossFit is like this. So most CrossFit athletes, by the way, are about the average height is like 5'8". I think Tom Daly's sometime like between 5'6" and 5'8". So kettlebell swings, if you know what those are. If you want to live in terror, David is 6'3", and when he does kettlebell swings, there is some fear in my heart. Being, like if that thing slips, he's taking out a wall. He's got some power.
Chris says, "Okay, Matt." Y'all, okay, everybody, don't you think we need video of Matt doing his exercise, and we'll play it next week? Well, basically, like I'm playing this video over and over. We'll just replay clips of Matt exercising.
Can I get a spray tan first or something, and then I'll do some things, and then I'm wearing a t-shirt. Like I'm not.
Okay, we don't have to. No spray tans allowed right now. But we will oil you up like the Tonga guy.
Oh my god, like
coconut oil.
Just throw me to the wolves. Do you know what people would make fun of me? Oh my god, I would never hear the end of it. Like...
Matt, I'm sending you some coconut oil right now, and I'm waiting for a photo. Everybody, don't you think we should both put coconut oil on?
30 more days at the gym, just 30 more days, and we'll talk.
30 more days, everybody, and then Matt's coconut oiled up body.
Oh my god.
Jonathan says,
"Are you gonna watch? Do you watch the playbacks of these lives, Cody?"
Probably. I don't usually.
I think you should watch the playback of this one. This one's been quite something.
Jonathan said, "Can Tom Daly help me warm up at home?" I'm sure they. First of all, I have to say, check out Tom Daly's YouTube channel. He's been doing little vlogs, and like his partner there, his diving partner, they do a whole video of Tom Daly waxing his dive partner. It's really funny. Everything, or chest and like lower stomach. It's great. It's a great funny video. I just love Tom Daly. He's so fun and so cute and like the sweetest person. Like, and also if you look at his Instagram and him with his kid, it's just so cute. It just like melts my heart. It's like, I love this. One more time, everybody. Oh my god, it was the end of it, everybody. Goodness. Okay, here we go again. I mean, this is basically every Olympian now. I mean, this is not exclusive to Tom Daly. Like, if every Olympian showed us their workout
This is literally
routine.
what training CrossFit was like. It was stuff like this, but like format, like it kind of spreads it out so you're not doing necessarily everything at once. You don't hurt yourself, but like those kinds of exercises were.
I mean, I can lift up a 5-pound dumbbell. I mean, does that count?
Is it cake? Oh my god,
it's a
Cody,
donut.
You know how
it's a donut. So there's this donut place.
No, hold on.
They make a huge
Stop talking for a second. Oh my god. Jesus. So Cody gets me every week with random shit. I forget that he does this, but he'll save our text messages and then show them to you guys during our lives. The sunflower one this week was just hilarious. When you sent me the picture of the sunflower, and I was like, oh my god, that thing's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's one we would have shown actually had we done that this week.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, y'all get to see it like in 2 or 3 weeks. I'll show it then. It was a pretty fun one. It was a pretty funny one. I agree. Going through this real quick. Let's see. Keith wants to be that barbell. Man, Chris says, okay, I'm sending coconut oil to Matt for next week's live.
So I think what we'll do is I'll just be casually like applying coconut oil to myself while we're talking, but I'll have to move into a new spot and be like,
Keith says, California donuts in LA is amazing. Yeah, we'll have to let David know that the coconut oil is coming, and he'll have to help you apply the coconut oil. So about the donut real quick. There's a donut shop here that makes what they call like a Texas-sized donut. Again, I don't know how Texas gets all these things, but even out here, but it's like a huge, like, I don't know. It's like about a 1 foot by 1 foot size donut, and it's like several pounds. And you have to like order it ahead of time because they have to specially make it. I've always wanted to do that. So yeah, that can be me lifting up some weight, a donut lifting up to my mouth.
I was just thinking about, when everything was cake, it's like, oh, the people it would look so real, but it turned out it was cake. That's what I was thinking of. Like
Yeah, that would be fun too.
I was
It's
thinking about making a cake tonight. I've been thinking about it for weeks, and I think
what kind of cake are you gonna make?
I don't know. It's 8:30, so I might have to run to the store if I don't have everything. I swear, I thought Keith brought a box of a chocolate cake, and I'm not a big. If it's chocolate cake, I can't have the chocolate. Like, it's one part of it can be chocolate, but it cannot be all chocolate. Everything, it's just too much for me.
Chocolate and chocolate.
Yeah, it's too
Keith,
much.
did you bring a chocolate cake?
I think there's a chocolate cake mix in there. If not, I'll try to make it myself. I don't mind making all that stuff myself. It just saves time.
Yeah. It seems from these last comments that basically I feel Keith did bring it, so there you go. It seems like we should just have a segment next week where we just talk about Tom Daly. It seems like that is like a thing we need to do, and he does have a dive coming up, so we will be talking about him. Hopefully he'll win another gold.
Chris says Keith on live. Keith is here.
I know.
He is down
He'll
the
have
hall
to join
listening.
us sometimes.
I think he's actually in the house. I thought I heard him come in earlier. So I think he's in his room watching this now, which is really funny. So yeah. But we're gonna put him on camera, and everybody is going to. You guys are just gonna eat him up. He is so sweet and adorable, and he has like huge muscular arms, and so you guys are gonna just be ridiculous.
He's outside.
So he's outside. Oh, he's outside the backyard. Okay. So
yeah, I can't wait. But
yeah, I bet you guys can't.
I hope y'all have all enjoyed today's show, our Olympic show. We'll do another Olympic show next week. Maybe hop on sometime between now and then. There's a lot happening. Who knows? But it's been fun. I've enjoyed
story,
this.
And I didn't even get to share it with you because I had to go put content in.
Well, you can always share the cat story if you want.
No, it's okay. I think this is a good note to go on. We'll do it Sunday.
Yeah. Again, just real quick. If you're out and about, wear a mask right now. I think that's just important. I think we didn't talk about a lot of stuff that's happening in the news. There's a ton of stuff, but basically just wear a mask because that's important right now. And then Keith says from lifting cakes, and Chris says share.
Keith is very dedicated. He goes to the gym regularly, but also he is totally a realist, and we all enjoy pizza in this house. Do not listen to people who say that are all, oh, I would work out, but I enjoy pizza too much. Bitch, you don't think I can eat a whole medium or large pizza if I want to? The trick is to not do it every day. And y'all ain't doing it every day because I know all y'all broke asses don't have the money for that. So,
well,
don't give those excuses.
Just so everybody knows, Matt does love lifting cakes. That's cakes.
Are we talking about my ass? The fact that I have to carry this thing around? I told David, I was like, I'm going to write Volks above your belt line. He was like, why? I'm like, because you got to carry around that wagon. Like Volkswagen. It was a gay boy car joke. Car gay joke. There we go.
There you go. You got it out. It's like my Tokyo.
I was very proud of myself. Okay.
So as we leave, everybody just update. Let's see what's going on here. The United States at 42 medals, China at 40, Russia Olympic Committee at 34. We have the most silver medals right now, tied for the most bronze, and China has the most gold. So the first week of the Olympics is complete. A lot of track and field things are starting up, and we'll finish out individuals of gymnastics coming up, and
I'm hoping we can
stuff.
pop on to live. I was hoping to this week, but it did not. It just didn't happen. So hoping to this coming week. And also we did release Crime Week episodes for this week. So please check them out. We did release them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So the way we do Crime Week is typically Cody and I chat and hang out, and then it's just me talking about the crime. So as always, please listen. If you have any questions about it or comments, or even if you think I missed something, please let me know. Just send me a DM. I'm always happy to talk about it. It's open for discussion always.
So everybody, we thank you for joining us here today. And if you're listening to this later, are watching this later, thank you again for coming back and watching it or listening. We appreciate it. And we'll be talking about Olympics coming up next Friday at 5 o'clock. Maybe talking about Olympics sometime between now and then for sporadic live. But again, we hope all of you have a great weekend in whatever you're doing and enjoying. Bye, everybody.
Bye.